Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Matchday 6 team selection video. But first, as always, we're going to take a look at Matchday 5 because there's a lot to talk about with how Matchday 5 went. And yeah, let's get started without wasting any time. So ahead of Matchday 5, that is the quarterfinals, I went with 4 Brazilian players, I went with 3 French players, I went with 3 Argentine players, 3 Portuguese players, and 2 Dutch players. As you know, Portugal went out, Netherlands went out, and Brazil of all teams went out, which means I still had 6 players to. I still have 6 players ahead of the semifinals. But we'll talk about that. Let's see how the rest of the team did first before I come to what the changes I'm going to be making. So as you can see, Alisson only got me 1 point. Once again, very unlucky with Marquinhos because they had like 4 minutes to hold on to get a clean sheet. Literally, they were so close to winning that game 1-0, but it all went wrong in the very last moments. And Theo Hernandez as well, only -1, terrible. Acuna got 7 points. He actually got he got the penalty, and he also got subbed off, right? I think before they considered or something. 7 points was great. I don't remember how he got them, but he got 7 points, so I'm pretty happy with that. And Guerrero got 0. Paqueta got 5. De Jong 1. Fernandez 2. De Paul 2. Rabiot 1. So terrible returns from the midfield. Paqueta got the assist for Neymar's goal. Messi got 18 points. As my captain, I switched it from, I think I went for Richarlison as my first captain and then switched it to Messi. He basically is the only player who got a return alongside Acuna. And then as you can see on the bench, Dumfries got a -3 and Marquinhos got 0. Now, ahead of the quarterfinal, the round of 16, none of my players were eliminated. So the 5 transfers I had for the quarterfinal, I didn't even really have to use them. I could have just waited for the teams that were going out to use them then, or wait for the team news. So that is what I had planned, but I just decided to use 3 transfers anyway to bring in the likes of Dumfries. That worked well. That was a terrible transfer. I took out Blaine for Dumfries, but anyway, Dumfries ended up on my bench. So I remained with 2 transfers. The 2 transfers, I was planning to use them for Acuna and De Paul because everyone was saying Acuna and De Paul will not play, blah, blah, blah. But I said, you know what, let me keep them in my team. If they don't start, I will just take them out with the 2 remaining transfers for the quarterfinal. But since both of them started, I had 2 transfers remaining, which definitely helped me ahead of the semifinal, because basically those 2 transfers I could use them to take out some of the Brazilian players who were out and the Portuguese players who were out. So this is what I did. I took out Alisson after when the last game yesterday started, England and France. The 2 transfers were still active. I could still use the 2 transfers as long as match day 5 was still going on. So I took out Alisson and I brought in Bono, the Morocco goalkeeper, and I also brought in Ziyech and took out Paqueta. So those are 2 transfers sorted, which meant I would now have 8 players ahead of match day 6. 8 players before making the 5 transfers that we are going to get for the semi-final. Hopefully that is clear. But there's another problem. Acuna is suspended for the semi-final. So I have 7 players ahead of the semi-final, but with still 5 transfers to make. So the most players I can get in are 12 players. So I can't get 15 players. I can only get 12. Luckily, I didn't go for any England players, because if I had like another Brazilian player to make it 5 Brazilian players, or if I had like 2 English players, I would have been in a bit of trouble. I'd have had to take a minus. But luckily, my 3 Argentine players went through: Messi, De Paul, and Acuna. And also my French players did the business: Mbappe, Rabiot, and Theo Hernandez. So at least I don't have to take them out. So those are 6 players. And also the 2 transfers I made before the end of match day 5, bring in Bono, the goalkeeper, for Alisson, and also bring in Ziyech for Paqueta. So at the moment, I have 8 players in my team. 7 players will play. 1 of them is suspended, but I still have the 5 transfers to make. Hopefully that is clear. So what am I planning to do with the 5 transfers? So here we go. This is how my team is looking ahead of the semifinals. The 4 transfers, I've made 4 transfers now for the semifinal. So I still have 1 transfer. I'll tell you how I'm planning to use it. So I've taken out Bruno Fernandes. I've taken out Dumfries, De Jong, and Richarlison. I've brought in Perisic, Koundé, Modric, and Giroud. So 2 French players and 2 Croatian players. So this is how my team is looking with 1 extra transfer to go. Bono is my goalkeeper. I'll only have 1 goalkeeper for this week. don't have enough transfers to bring in another goalkeeper. I've brought in Koundé, so I'll have a double up in terms of French defense alongside Theo Hernandez. As I said, Acuna is in my team, but he will not play, so he'll just end up on my bench. And then the rest of the defenders, Marquinhos and Guerrero. Marquinhos is the one who's going to go out with that one extra transfer remaining, but I'm going to wait and see for the Argentine lineup and the Croatian lineups, and then I will choose a defender from one of those teams and take out Marquinhos, which will take my allocation of players to 12. So Acuna is currently in my team still. And then midfield-wise, Perisic, Modric, De Paul, Rabiot, and Ziyech. So none of them are not going to play. All of them are going to be playing. Modric and Perisic up against Argentina. Yes, I finally brought in Perisic into my team. I couldn't see any other midfielders I could bring. I was thinking about McAllister, but I was like, let me also put a bit of trust and hope in Croatia as well. And then De Paul is still in my team, Rabiot as well, and Ziyech is the player who came on before Matchday 5 was over. So he becomes a member of my team ahead of Matchday 6. And then forward line, I have Messi, Mbappe, and Jude. I said Messi and Mbappe are never going to leave my team. And Mbappe didn't score against England, but you saw Messi always either scores or assists. And Mbappe, they marked him like 2 or 3 players against when he's playing England. So he had a tough game in that one, but I'm not going to take him out at all. And then I've brought in Jude because Jude scored against, I think it was Poland in the last 16, and he scored again in the quarterfinal against England. So he's always going to score goals. So that is how my team is looking. So if you take out Acuna and you put Acuna on the bench, and then I bring in, let's say, a Croatia defender for Marquinhos, I will have 11 players on the pitch and then Ziyech on the bench. So I'll have a total of 12 players. I could have had 13, but Acuna is suspended, unfortunately. So I guess, yes, players from Brazil went out and my Portuguese players went out. But luckily, I had 3 players from France and 3 players from Argentina, and all of them are still in the competition. So I was lucky with that one. And I'm also lucky I didn't go for England players, or I didn't go for like 5 Brazil players or something like that. So I don't have to take a hit. I have 1 transfer to go. I think I can actually show you. So can I actually show you? Yeah, as you can see here, I have 1 transfer remaining with 5.5 million in the bank. So if I take out Marquinhos, if there was a defender for 12 million, I could bring them on. So that is how my team is looking. Captaincy wise, we'll talk about all that in the tip show, but obviously, as you can see, it's on Messi at the moment. The only changes I say that I'm going to make, I'm going to take out Marquinhos, the 5.5 million defender, and bring on another defender. I could even end up with another France defender, or Argentina defender, or Croatia defender, or maybe I should go for Hakimi, but I already have the Morocco goalkeeper. I went for him because of the save points. Hopefully can get a lot of save points against France. And then I'll just have to leave Guerrero on the bench. Even though he's already out, I'll just have to leave him on the bench. I'll have to leave Costa on the bench as well. I'll just go with 1 goalkeeper. And I'll also leave Acuna on the bench because he will return either for the final or for the 3rd, 4th place playoff match. So in terms of match day 5, as you can see, I scored 37 points. That takes me to 310 overall, and I'm ranked 6,032 in the world, which is great. So I'm pretty happy with that. I had sending questions there, but the deadline stream, this is not the deadline stream, so I should have changed that. But anyway, let me know how your team did for match day 5. Is your team in good shape ahead of the semi-final? Are you in a lot of trouble? How many of your players got eliminated? Personally, had 9 players eliminated, 4 from Brazil, 3 from Portugal, and 2 from Netherlands. But basically, having those 2 transfers from the quarterfinal and also the 5 transfers for the semi-final, I was able to bring in 7 players and only have 2 non-playing players. That is Costa and Guerrero. So I'm pretty happy the decision went well, not going for England players. A lot of creators went for 4 England players, 5 Brazil players. So if you went for that strategy, 5 England players, 5 Brazil players, 3 Portuguese players, and you don't have a wildcard, then you're in a bit of trouble. But let's see how it goes. That is how my team is looking. The tip show will be out as always a day before the semi-finals. What some incredible games that we have: Argentina against Croatia, France against Morocco. We could see a repeat of the 2018 final, France against Croatia. We could see an underdog final, Croatia against Morocco. Who would have expected that? Or we could see the big one, France against Argentina. But thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.